Welcome to the year of the supernatural. We will surpass our boundaries and deepen our connection with God during this time. Today is our second day of prayer and fasting with Pastor Bless Miller from Abundantly Blessed Outreach. We are located on Nemus Way, Gladstone Road. Today's message from Pastor Bless is titled, The Man Whose God's Hand is Upon. She discussed God's profound blessing and power in our lives. Let's take a moment to listen to Psalms chapter 80, verses 17, and hear what Pastor Bless has to say.
Now, today I'll be sharing from Psalms chapter 80 and verse 17. And it reads, But let your hand be on the man of your right hand, the Son of Man, whom you have made strong for yourself. Now, this verse speaks of the blessings and the power of having God's hand upon our lives. What does it mean to be a man or a woman of God, to be marked by God's presence and purpose in you? When we speak of God's hand upon us, we are referencing His divine favor. We are referencing His guidance and His strength. The Bible tells us that God called Moses to lead the Israelites out of Egypt. And Moses performed miracles and was guided through great challenging circumstances. David was anointed as king. And despite of his failures, David turned to God for strength and guidance. And he became known as a man after God's own heart. Joseph was sold into slavery by his brothers. And Joseph found favor in the eyes of his masters. And eventually he rose to power in Egypt. Queen Esther, she was positioned to save people from their destruction. Daniel, he was in exile in Babylon, and despite this, he remained faithful to God, and through his faith, he gained favor with kings. Now, Jesus, the Son of God, he embodied God's favor and strength. In his ministry, life, and sacrifice, it is the ultimate expression of God's hand on a man. So when God's hand is upon your life, it will bring a heightened sense of challenges that feel more intense, more extreme, and much more than what others go through. When God's hand is on your life, it comes with great responsibilities. You will have to face more trials. Your tests are strengthening your faith. When God's hand is on your life, you become a target for spiritual attacks. The enemy will always seek to hinder you from living out your purpose. When God's hand is on your life, God uses difficulties to refine and to mold you into the person He wants you to be. He pushes you out of your comfort zone. When God's hand is on your life, you will always walk more closely with God, and this walk will be visible for those around you. When God's hands is on your life, you will make bold steps of faith, which can lead you to great blessings and challenges. So when we speak of God's hands on our life, it will be visible through our challenges and our blessings. In 2021, I released a song, The Favor of God. Verse 1, let the favor of God rest on me, in my home, on my job, in my community. Let the favor of my God rest on me. Confirm the works of my hand as I stand. Let your favor rest on me. So when God's hand is on a man, you will see God's protection, His provision, and His power working in the life of that chosen vessel. You will see personal transformation. Verse 17 continues. That man of your right hand. The right hand of God is a position of authority. God's right hand represents strength and favor. So when God places His hand upon you, it elevates our lives and positions us for His purpose. Where God can and will use us to be positioned by God means to seek to do His will. To be positioned by God means to have a relationship with Him, to allow Him to guide our steps. This verse continues, the Son of Man whom you have made strong for yourself. So our strength doesn't come from ourselves, but it comes from God and God alone. God's strength comes in our hardship and in our trials. Proverbs chapter 3 verses 5 and 6 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all of your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. So we cannot depend on our own abilities. Our supernatural strength lies in recognizing that we are strengthened in God's hand. So when we surrender our weaknesses and allow God to work through us, we become instruments for his glory. When God's hand is upon our lives, we bring in our families, communities, and workplaces. When we desire for God's hand to be upon us, remember, to whom much is given, much more is expected. Being marked by God requires a commitment to holiness, and it requires a commitment of service. God's hand calls for us to be leaders, not just in words, but in action. There is a sweet assurance when we know that God's hand are upon us. When we intentionally cultivate a relationship with him, when we find confidence in our position under his hand, he promises to strengthen us, to guide us, and to empower us for his good work he has prepared for us. I pray for you that God's hand be upon everyone who listens to this recording, guiding you to the path and strengthening you to act for his purpose. I am Pastor Bless Miller.
We truly appreciate you joining us today. Thank you for tuning in. Tomorrow, we will continue the third and final day of our mid-month fasting prayer and teaching from Psalms chapter 80.